Live from the MultiGP headquarters, this is MultiGP News.
Today on MultiGP News, they're well-respected pilots in the community with years of flying experience. Now they're sharing a few of their race day tips and tricks you don't want to miss. Plus, this well-known jet pilot has flown every class of aircraft at the Reno Air Races. Now he's dabbling with FPV. His first attempt at flying, all caught on camera. Then, over 1 million people have already watched his video, and many can't get enough of it. Paul NURKKALA breaking down the good, the bad, and the ugly side of going viral. All this and much more coming up on MultiGP News. Welcome back, everyone. Here are your top stories this week on the MultiGP Rundown. Ladies and gentlemen of the drone racing community, meet 26-year-old FPV racer Natalie from our new MultiGP chapter in Russia, Copter Pilot. This FPV girl has been flying for 2 years now and competitively racing for the past year. Natalie, who says she's currently the only MultiGP female pilot in Russia, is one of the most competitive racers out there, and she's got the videos to prove it. Natalie also has a strong passion for building quads. She's put together all her drones for races. She says her ultimate goal is to join pilots at I/O next year.
Biggest dream now is to travel the world, meet other community members, and participate in the international MultiGP racing event. To get some experience as a pilot and as an active chapter member. And, of course, even become a happy FPV girl.
You can catch some of her flying and building action online. Log on to youtube.com and search for Natova. The biggest little city in the world, hosting 2 epic events last month that attracted both FPV pilots and aviation enthusiasts from all around the country. Meet pilot and CEO of Aircraft Wraps, Scott Farnsworth, who not only flies a real jet but professionally competes in aerobatics and pylon racing at the National Championship air races in Reno every year.
Hey, I watched your airplane, let's go for a flight, let me work those radios, would turn into, okay, you're working the radios, your controls now. And then one thing led to another. I was actually, blessed with always knowing what I want to do.
He's a well-known pilot in the aviation scene who's taken down several races in the past. Now this pilot has quickly developed an interest in drone racing after watching the intense competition the 2017 MultiGP National Championships last month. Luckily, he was able to experience FPV for the very first time thanks to Jordan Jet Temkin, who showed him the ropes and helped him fly his first quad.
Alright, so one more thing actually that I'm going to tell you before I plug this in. There is an arm switch right here.
Yep. So
this is disarmed. That's no prop spinning. The second you arm it, the props actually are spinning at idle.
Okay.
So I'm just going to keep my finger here to disarm just in case it starts flying towards the cameraman or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't want to hurt nobody.
Let's get this on.
So turn that on. Right there. We might actually want to step back a couple feet.
The jet pilot is currently sponsored by Dash, a digital currency which allows instant transactions to be sent and received anywhere in the world within seconds. The 2017 championships may be officially over, but we still have tons to talk about. This week, we spoke with some pilots we like to call the pioneers of drone racing. Find out where they think the sport is headed and what they're up to for next season. Ken Flying Bear Lou, Jordan Jet Temkin, JROD Quillien, and Christian Provo Peterson, just a few of the old school pilots that many in the community look up to thanks to the years of experience they have under their belt.
We're like the 30 and up crowd, and we're talking, we need to stick together and prove to the rest of the racing community that old guys can still be fast.
Ken Flying Bear Lou is a Google engineer, well respected among racers, and one of the original DRL pilots from season 1 and 2. Ken placing 6th overall at the championships in Reno last month. The big event included pilots from a wide spectrum of ages with various flying strategies in play. However, Ken believes the more experience a pilot possesses in these competitions, the better.
You can see that when you're watching different pilots' video feeds mid-race. The really old, the experienced pilots will fly only fast enough to beat their competition. And we saw this with Jet, we saw this with Provo, we saw this with Jaws in Reno. They were flying conservatively throughout most of the competition up until the final 16. And the strategy there is to just, every time you take a lap on the track, it's practice. It's more time to learn the racing line and to refine it.
Finding the optimal racing line can be helpful for pilots, but Ken says he rarely follows that rule. In fact, he set some fast times on several UTTs by overlooking the racing line. However, that technique hurting him in the Nationals.
And for me, I love to fly tight corners. I cut gates. If there's a white dotted line between two gates telling you here's the turn you should take, I'm never following that white line. I'm always going inside of it. And this hurt me really badly in Reno. I was one of the only pilots to hit the strings that were holding the gates down more than once. I was just flying super tight because that's what I love to do, and I just kept hitting all of those strings. So what helps me in UTT actually hurt me in Reno because I was trying to take the most aggressive racing line, which was blocked off.
Ken also stressing the benefits of turtle mode.
Turtle mode is awesome. Normally when we crash, and if we're bouncing around on the ground and happen to land upside down, propellers are on the ground, traditionally that was the end. There was no recovering from that. But if you were lucky and landed right side up, you could keep flying. And that's been in all the race rules.
So what does Ken think about the end results in the 2017 National Championships?
Vanover's lucky he rolled farther than free fall. And 32 Bits of Gill's lucky that the two people in front of him made that critical mistake.
Now, many experienced pilots like JROD Quillien emphasizing the outcome is always unpredictable in the sport. There's no guarantee who will win.
It's never a guarantee. You can look at the best, most proven pilots on any race, and there's so much of a luck factor in this sport and in any racing that you could take the best pilot and think that he's going to win hands down. He could have the best qualifying time, and it could come down to one crash and one little bit of bad luck, and he's out, well before finals. That could happen to anybody. Everybody always says it's I got third on that day, and under those circumstances, under certain pilots crashing out.
Many still talking about Jerrod's infamous launching style. Not only does it look appealing to spectators, but it also puts him ahead of his competitors. It's
not difficult to do. You just find the right angle and you literally flip the switch to the throttle and just go 100%. My spotter, Zach, on Team Falcon, Zach was talking to me. He's like, okay, good launch. You're 3 gates ahead, you're 4 gates, you're 5 gates ahead, you're 6 gates ahead. Oh my God, that was the first race I had launched, and he's just like, you're so far ahead just from that launch.
Spectators mesmerized after watching Jerrod crash out in the final heat, then quickly recover and finish the race in 3rd place, all thanks to turtle power.
At Nationals, turtle mode was the difference in me getting 3rd place over 4th place. So what happened was I started the race out up front, then I went down to 2nd, and then as I was pushing to get back into 1st place, I crashed out. And I got passed by everybody immediately. It was such a tight race. So I turtle mode, I got back up, I flipped over and took back off and in that process, one of the other pilots, Jaws, had gone down. And either didn't have turtle mode or he was, damaged beyond flight. He couldn't fly anymore. So I was able to pass him to get back into third place. Turtle mode is not for somebody that's a perfect pilot. You can be a perfect pilot, take every line perfect, do everything right, but still somebody could clip a gate and accidentally go across the course and mid-air you.
The 2016 reserve champion and two-time DRL title holder Jordan Temkin may have placed 25th in this year's championships, but he's still one of the most respected and experienced pilots out there.
I went into it on the list, kind of, I guess, the bottom of the barrel of the 150 people or whatever. And, for me, I was having fun at first. It was like a 4-day event, 3-day event. And then from there, I don't think I did as well as I really wanted to. And we all have our on days and we all have our off days. And I think I was having an off day.
Temkin, who's not a big fan of practicing for a race, rather enjoys competing in the moment, minus the hours of training.
Because me personally, I don't really enjoy practicing racing and setting up gates and racing all that much. Guys who do is race all day long, and they obviously whoop my butt, makes me go, man, I should really try a little harder, or at least put the same time and dedication that they do into it.
Surprisingly, this top racer would rather freestyle on a normal day than race.
I definitely want to win. I mean, there's no denying that. So yeah, that's in my blood.
As pilots put this year's nationals behind them and prepare for the next, many thankful for the hard work MultiGP puts in all their races.
To do the things that they do and to put up with the whiny pilots like me.
Yeah.
No, the team's awesome. You guys put up with us, and I don't know how you do it. So I got to say thank you to you for doing an awesome job with the news. I watch it every time it comes out. I get the notification on my phone.
Awesome.
And do an amazing job, and like every part of the show you do is really nice.
Now don't let the cool, calm, and collected demeanor of these old-school pilots fool you. JROD Quillien definitely a force to be reckoned with. He came in 3rd overall at the 2017 National Championships, 3rd both at IO's World Cup and Spec Race, plus he recently hit the podium at the Great Lakes Cup Drone Racing Championships last month. And when we come back, this pilot broke the internet last week after posting a video of himself flying in, around, and under a moving train. The answers to all your questions about the video coming up, plus our crashes of the week. Stick around. Pilot Paul NURKKALA recently posting this insane video of himself flying in and around a moving train and quickly gaining tons of attention, all while hitting the 1 million view mark on YouTube. Find out why he took that wild ride. It's a viral video that nearly broke the internet, gaining over 1 million hits just a few days after being posted. The mind-blowing video ending up on popular social news website and forum Reddit, titled Drone Video of the Year.
And so I posted it up, and it did really well just in like multi-rotor groups. And then someone posted it to r/videos on Reddit. It made it to like the 15th position, and then that was when a bunch of like tech blogs started picking it up, like Engadget and Unilad and others. That was what kind of kept that steam engine moving forward.
For pilot Paul NURKKALA, it was just an ordinary stop to catch the sunset and burn some packs while driving up to Reno from Cali with friends last month.
So we were driving around the Highway 80 between Reno and and California. And actually, we had just crossed into California, flew a couple spots, and then we were just slowly working our way back down, or back into Reno from California, while the sun was going down, because everything's in the mountains there, so the sun goes down really early. And we found that spot, and I just wanted to fly through the bridge, go up in the mountains, cruise around for a bit, and then I was just going to kind of come back down the mountain, go through the bridge again, and cruise along the river. And it's right about as soon as I made it to the top of the mountain, my buddy Andy, aka Pizza, was like, "Oh, there's a train coming. You should turn around." So I was about, you can see in the video, like I get to the top, and also I just snap around and start coming down the mountain. That was right when he was like just in my ear, like, "Hey, you gotta turn around."
NURK just as surprised how much attention his video is getting.
We filmed it, we landed, I was like, wow, I think I got away with just about everything I could have in that flight. So I actually just kind of posted it on a whim. I asked a couple people to look at it and just kind of say, like, you know, is this going to receive a lot of negative attention, or is it positive? And everybody that saw it was like, this is awesome, there's nothing wrong with this, it's a train, you're flying a drone, like, what's going to happen? Yeah, I'm very excited and proud about that. Like, you know, you look back and like the other videos that have done that are, you know, the original drones chasing around in the forest in France, and some of Sharpou's original videos, Gap 707's infamous real steady flight in the mountains, and then now there's this one.
The pro pilot who just took first place in the Great Lakes Championship Cup didn't even think his viral video was any good.
In my opinion, it was kind of a really horrible looking flight, because I was like laughing the whole time. Like, you know, like you can actually see, like after the guy slams the window, for example, like you can see me just like bopping around. It's because I'm like laughing my head off.
So how has life changed after his video blew up on the internet?
It really hasn't. It was a nice opportunity. A couple of good press things, a couple bad press things. My YouTube channel has grown from like 10,500 people to I think just crossing over like 24,000, which is like more than double jump. So I'm very thrilled about that. Like, it kind of pisses me off at the same time, because I've worked on my channel for like 3 years just to get to 10,000, and then in 4 days or something like that, it doubles again. And I'm just like, well, I guess I'm not going to complain about that. So it's easy to get sucked into feeling the need to practice like one-upmanship in this, if that makes sense. You know, it's like, oh, how are you going to top that? Is a pretty, you know, common question. And like, it's like, I don't feel the need to top it. I feel, you know, and that's part of what I think has allowed me to continue to push on this channel, is that when I'm thinking about my next video, I'm thinking about how do I, you know, satisfy my desire to make something good and to tell a story and to create something that I want to share with people. So whether or not 1 million people see it or 1,000 people see it, as long as I'm happy with the way it looks and the way that it tells a story and that other people enjoy watching it, like, you know, it doesn't matter. That being said, I got some pretty cool stuff in the books.
It's not all unicorn and rainbows after going viral. There's always opposition and plenty of negativity once you're there. For NURK, the situation is a bit unsettling.
Third or fourth day of the video being posted, I kind of was, you know, and now, I mean, it is, I constantly am thinking about that. Like, I don't want that to happen. That would suck. I don't know what the ramifications of that would be, but and it's definitely affected the way that I think about what I'm going to put out because of how that was received. And now, kind of being in the limelight of that, like, it's, you know, people I think are going to see me and my channel through a different lens now, and they're gonna be looking for every single thing that could potentially be reckless or dangerous.
NURK has always been a favorite among pilots in the community who admire his skills on the sticks. He's extremely active on his YouTube channel, aiming to show his subscribers the beauty and stellar scenery pilots see while flying FPV.
I say that I got to show a beautiful place at a beautiful time from an extremely unique and inspiring perspective, and if you can at least see that, then you have no reason to be commenting on something.
Now let's get ready to watch some quads get obliterated right before our eyes. If you would like your crash featured on an upcoming episode, email your videos to news@multigp.com. Remember, the AMA elections are well underway, and MultiGP urging all our pilots to go out and vote. Make sure to catch our show next week as we interview Randy Cameron, who's running for AMA's Executive Vice President, why he says he supports drones. To learn more on Randy Cameron's campaign, log on to randycameron.com. Don't forget, we're aiming to reach 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss an update from us. Thanks for watching. I'm Kelara Maynade, reporting for MultiGP News. If you like this video, press the like button below, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in being showcased in the next episode of MultiGP News, please contact us at news@multigp.com.